Media.
Snazzy professional intro that we do here at Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. How you doing today, Brandon?
Doing pretty well, man. How you doing today?
Not too bad at all. I want to do a quick address something real quick. We fired Ricky from. No, I'm just kidding.
He's gone. No,
Ricky
absolutely
had
not.
some stuff come up tonight with his family. So thoughts and prayers to Ricky. Everybody's okay. Just got some stuff going on, and he's going to be out tonight. But he's here with us in spirit. Yeah, and so yeah, send him some love. He would really appreciate that. If you're a prayer, if you're a thoughts person, whatever, just send some love to Ricky, having some issues there at home. But Brandon, we are going to do a show regardless.
Do our best.
Yes, we got Trisha Arnold from YouTube in the house.
All right, Trisha, always holding YouTube down. We really appreciate that.
Oh, look at this. She's got some. She brings
company. Somebody?
Pam Criqui. You guys are looking so professional. I love it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
That's another YouTuber. That's awesome. That didn't happen very much.
Right.
We got Kelly Laverty. Thank you, Kelly, for stopping by the show. Let me see. Diana is on time this week. We're loving that.
Right,
We're loving that. Andrea's in the house. Southeast Oklahoma in the house every week. She doesn't miss a show. We got Salina, Kansas in the house. Awesome. Prayers for Ricky. Junction Shitty. Trisha says she shared it out to the groups. Here's Ricky here. He's saying, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, guys. I'm dealing with a family situation. Be back next week. So he's here, guys. He's here. Send him some love. And we're gonna do a hell of a show for you. I'm gonna go ahead and say the HELL word. I'm gonna do it. Okay. So Marcus Bachman is my husband. So that's what the show is named after tonight. So we are going to be covering Marcus.
We will be covering
Marcus
in just
a little bit.
With we have an updated flyer with new photos. I just did it last night. I updated his flyer for the show tonight.
Nice.
After Ricky's updated flyer of it.
Awesome. So yeah, we got a lot to get into. A lot going on in the true crime community. Did you get a chance to go over what Ricky had sent us earlier about the Petito case?
It was the Gabby Petito. Here, we can actually put it up on screen. Here. It was the coroner letter saying that she'd actually been strangled to death. And I think the interesting thing about this is actually the date on it was October 5th, which I think she wasn't reported missing until a few days after that. Or so, it was something like she apparently, according to the coroner's report, she had been dead for I think a week or more, maybe 14 days. I don't know 100%. I don't want to go out here speaking things that aren't true, but from my knowledge, she had been dead long before she'd been reported missing, and then obviously before they found her.
Wow. You know, the guy just looks so guilty, whatever his name is. I don't even want to spread his name out, but I mean, he's missing, you know, he's acting suspicious. Like, first of all, just the fact that he's missing and he's not near her, and that they knew that he made it back from that trip. Like, his family knew he made it back. Yeah, I just don't trust it at all, man. I really think
he's definitely guilty.
She says, I read some
3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, I didn't want to speak out of line or anything. I knew it was more than a week, but I wasn't sure if it was more than that.
3 to 4 weeks.
In a press conference. Okay. Well, then, yeah, that's more legit than what I know.
So yeah, lots developing in that. And again, we had talked about it a couple of weeks ago. You know, as horrible as it is what happened to Gabby, as a country, we've gotten really too good at, you know, only caring and only sharing flyers when they're like pretty, you know, white girls, you know. And again, we share all the flyers, everybody. I mean, absolutely. I'm glad that Gabby's going to get her justice. Our community does
a great job. I mean, everybody's watching, everybody's not watching it. When the flyer shows up, you guys, we see the numbers. You guys do an amazing job at sharing the flyers and getting them out in front of people, and that's something sharing, that we really love.
And, you know, a missing person is a missing person. I feel like we should care about all of them the same, you know.
Absolutely.
And it's just one of those things. But we're going to go ahead and get us some cases. We got quite a few to cover. You are watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast minus Ricky tonight, and we're joined by Brandon Smith, our producer. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, please call the National Human Trafficking Line at 1-888-373-7888.
Tonight's show, we're going to talk about Alex Russo. He is missing from Salina, Kansas since December 8th of 2017. He was 25 at the time of his disappearance, and he would now be 29 years old. Alex Russo went missing from Salina, Kansas on December 8th, 2017. The last contact with family Alex had with his family was 4 a.m. on December 8th. Alex is wheelchair bound as his left leg is amputated above the knee. At the time of his disappearance, Alex was 25 years old. He would now be 29 years old. He is 6'2" tall and weighs 175 pounds. He has black hair, brown eyes. Alex has a tattoo on the left side of his neck that says pain. If you have any information regarding Alex's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or call Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477. Or you can text SA Tips to Crimes 274-637 or visit www.pdsalina.org or follow Crime Stoppers link to submit your tip. You can also call the Kansas Bureau of Investigation at 785-296-4017. Brandon, this is just too long. Too much time has gone by since this guy's been seen.
Yeah, 2017 and wheelchair bound,
and the fact that they found his wheelchair, I'm sorry, but a person who's wheelchair bound, how long do they make it without their wheelchair? I mean, it's kind of like that's how they get
luckily,
around.
I mean, I say luckily it was just one leg. I mean, I'm not saying like that's a good or bad thing to even have, but he might still be able to get around. He might have been able to get somewhere, but it is kind of suspicious that you come across just his wheelchair and not him. Really hoping we find him in 2017. That's a long time. We're coming up on 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 4 years total that he's been missing. So yeah, it'd be nice to get him found.
See, now there's somebody out there, and Ricky knows more about it, so I don't want to get too much into it, but there's somebody out there who has a theory that there's like 5 missing people from around the same area. And apparently all the people that are missing are somehow, they were all Facebook friends, and we don't know and she don't know. And the person that's making this, claim, I don't think they're saying that there's definitely something connected here. They were just
pointing something out.
Yeah. They're just saying like these people are Facebook friends, which,
just something that, maybe the police should look into.
Yeah. Like how many friends do people have on Facebook? If you're like a streamer like me, maybe like 2,000. If you're just like a normal person, you have like maybe 200 or 300. They found his vehicle with his wheelchair and other belongings inside. Okay, yeah, I remember.
Oh, with his vehicle. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like with Alex here, man, like his car's gone. I mean, they found his car, they found his wheelchair, his wallet, everything was in there. So to me, if I'm the police, I'm obviously worried right off the bat. Like nobody gets around with that without that kind of stuff on them. It has to be on, you have to have, especially your wheelchair, man.
Yeah, wheelchair bound, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. She says every person matters. So impressed with the new graphics. Thanks to Brandon Smith here. He's joined the team in the last couple of months. Kelly Upoff is here. We love it.
Absolutely.
Pam is here with Trisha. They're holding down YouTube. So glad you guys are still here. Prayers to Ricky. Yeah, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. Yeah, he's gonna be all right. He's just got some stuff going on.
He's just dealing with some personal issues he's got to take care of tonight. So some family issues he's got to take care of. But like we said, we're gonna try and hold it down as best we can.
Right. Brandon, you don't have Alexander's press. You can just do Betty and I'll do Alexander's. That's where we do that, and then we'll just switch back and forth. If you want to tell us about Betty Alexander.
All right, give me just a sec. Let me get her.
No problems. And this is a Missouri case for those of you that are following along. Go ahead.
This is Betty Alexander. She went missing from her Center Street apartment in Sullivan, Missouri on April 14th, 2019. Betty's daughter had stopped by to check on her mom at about 4:30 p.m. that day, but found her mom's door locked. Her daughter unlocked the door and could not locate her mother, but noticed that her Meals on Wheels had been delivered and was sitting on the table along with her milk. Her glasses, which she never leaves without, were lying on her recliner. Her purse was left inside a closet. Her wallet, medications, and state identification were still inside. Betty reportedly is in the beginning stages of dementia. At the time of her disappearance, Betty was 69 years old. She would be now 71. She's 4'11" tall, weighs 145 pounds, has dark brown hair with all over blonde. As you can see in the center two photos there, and blue and gray eyes. If you have any information regarding Betty's disappearance or know of her whereabouts, please call the Sullivan, Missouri Police Department at 573-468-8001. The anonymous tip line at 573-860-5637, or John Mackey is the private investigator at 888-511-0498. There is a $20,000 reward being offered for information leading to Betty's whereabouts and conviction of persons responsible. So, Betty, that's one of those ones where you see somebody. We come across a lot of people who are, in their 20s, some of them younger. But when you get to the older ones, it gets to be more like you start relating these people to kind of like your family members.
Yeah.
And, when you have family members about that age, you start worrying about, how these people might be feeling. We got to try and find Betty there. And in the early stages of dementia, she might have wandered off and got lost, didn't know where she was. So she could be.
Well, my thing is I understand wandering off and getting lost with dementia. That typically they'll call that a silver alert.
Right.
And so I get that, but to me, the real scary thing about a silver alert, and any missing person really, but the thing about a silver alert, that's different between a teenager and a silver alert. Obviously, teens that are out there are very vulnerable to people, manipulating them and doing them harm. But I feel like a young person would have like more of they would probably know, like, okay, most people I think would know that most people were probably out to get them, and they would be a little leery. But if you're talking about somebody who has dementia and they don't know what year it is, they don't know what day it is, they don't know who their family members are, and you get somebody like that into the hands of a predator, somebody that's like, oh, here's somebody that's going to forget everything that I do and tell them every 5 minutes. Like, that's a horrible thing, and I just don't see.
The flip side of it is she could have wandered off. I mean, it's just like if like you went to sleep and woke up somewhere, right? And you just didn't know where you were. I mean, that's exactly what could have happened to her. She could have wandered off in the middle of anywhere. And then, had a moment where she pops back, because dementia is not constant. You have, so she could have popped back and like, oh my gosh, where am I at? Have no clue. And then hit back in dementia again. She could just have wandered off. But I mean, I hate to talk the worst. Hopefully Miss Betty is all right.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully she's all right. It just scares me anytime somebody's not of sound mind and they're out, exactly with dementia. Being lost must be terrifying.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you think about it, you're just lost at home around your family. You don't know who those people are. Imagine just being out where nobody, people just think you're, I don't know. It's very sad. It's a very sad ordeal. Jason Pfeiffer in the house. What's up, buddy? What's up? And we got Micah, Raj, Sean in here. You all are doing amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Helps to hit the notification. Yes, do that. And by the way, you can do that on Facebook too. If you click the three dots, you can actually turn on notifications. So whenever we go live, we'll let you know.
Also, Facebook, in case you haven't caught on, has the podcast feature now.
Yeah, all of our episodes.
We are putting all of our episodes up for listen. So if you can't make the live podcast, or you can't sit and watch it, or you can't stream it while you're working or anything, you can actually pull it up on Facebook Podcasts and listen to it that way.
And we had 900 downloads this week. Thank you for the people that were downloading the audio podcast. That's awesome. You two are doing great. Thank you for all you do. My nephew Alex Perez is going on 11 months. Funny you should mention it. We're actually getting ready to cover Alexander Perez's case. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Okay, so here's one that I've been a part of since around January of 2021. Last week we had Alexander Perez's cousin Melissa on the show. We've gotten to know Irene, Alexander's mom, over the last year, and it's just heartbreak after heartbreak each week that we have to show this guy's flyer. I mean, I'm tired of showing this guy's flyer because I want this guy to be found. It's been a year. It's been an entire year since we have had any movement on this case, and it just gets heartbreaking every week to share it and share it and share it. But we're going to continue to share it every week until something happens. Now, he's missing from you. Alexander Perez went missing from Ulysses, Kansas on December 1st, 2020. It is believed that Alexander may still be in the local Ulysses area, and he may be in the Garden City, Kansas, or the surrounding areas. Alexander is 35 years old. He is 5'11". He weighs 235 pounds. He has black hair that he shaves off and brown eyes. Alexander has several tattoos, including a B on the left side of his face under his eye. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or 620-356-3500. Or obviously anything that you hear, that's you think might be of help with the investigation, don't hesitate to contact the Kansas Bureau of Investigation at 785-296-4017. Alexander, if you're out there, we're not going to give up on you. We're going to keep digging we're going to keep looking until we find you. And yeah, I mean, Brandon, you've been on part of this show for about a month and a half. You've gotten to know Alexander quite a bit in this last month and a half.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I hate that we have to keep posting his flyer up. I really love to have some closure for this guy and his family. Because I know, speaking with her name again, I'm sorry, Melissa. Last week, I know she's saying the family's still feeling like it's the first day pretty much. Alex is now 36. He's now 36.
Yeah, and I was reading from the old flyer because Ricky's not here
even
tonight.
On our flyer tonight. It says 35. He's now 36. But yeah, I'd really love to get some closure for Alex here and his family. Alex, like you said, if you're listening, buddy, we're doing our best to try and help you.
Yeah, I feel like I know this guy. I never met him. And you know what? I used to live in Garden City, Kansas 4 years ago. Maybe me and this guy have been in, Ulysses and Garden City are close. Garden City is like the closest place with some bigger stores. And maybe me and this guy have, been in the same restaurant at the same time. Maybe we've, passed each other at a Walmart or something. It's like at this point, I feel like he's just a kid from Kansas that needs to be found. And, like he's just one of us, man. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
It's not home. Here we got some love coming in tonight. Micah Rashawn says prayer for AJ and his family. Prayers they hear something soon. I wish Kelly Uphoff says I wish whoever did something to him they just get found out about.
Yeah.
I just if you're out there watching this or listening to this podcast and you had something to do with this, my only advice to you is just better not make any mistakes because we're not going to stop.
Don't slip
and his
up.
family's not going to stop. The police aren't going to stop. So you might just want to not screw this up. You might want to play your cards close to the chest because there's an army of people looking for you right now. Lori Hayes from Hayes. She's our residence Hayes girl.
Hey, Lori.
We like Lori Hayes quite a bit. She's really cool. That's one that we're going to continue covering. But yeah, I hate covering that every week, man. It's just like, man, I want to hear something. It's been, as soon as it hits December, that's like a year. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah. A lot of these are in December tonight.
Yeah. It's weird how stuff like that happens sometimes, man. Like it just kind of acts. Nick Hall here from Salina. That's where our founder is from. Ricky Tabruggi. That's where he's hails from. Prayers for him and his family. Know someone they need to know. They need to say something. Yep. Hope he gets found. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Thank you for tuning in, Jacob Anderson.
And just take this moment here. If anybody's tuning in for the first time tonight, or maybe you might have somebody who's missing and you want us to cover it, please reach out to us. Send us some photos, some information, anything you have, maybe a name, address, or anything like that, or a link that might could help us out to get more information, get a flyer made. We will make you a flyer. We will cover it on the show. We're more than happy to do that. Obviously, you see us covering Alex all the time. And all these other people as well. So please reach out to us. We're here to help. That's what we want to do.
Yeah. Brandon, tell us about Shea Butterfield real quick.
Shea Butterfield is 48. He went missing from Lenexa, Kansas on October 2nd of 2021. He drives a 2018 white 4-door Honda Accord. It was found abandoned with the door open and the engine running in Kansas City, Northland on North Line Creek Parkway, past Hopewell Elementary School, close to Line Creek Trail. Shea's cell phone was left at home. He's 48 years old, 6 foot 2 inches tall, and weighs 195 pounds. He has brown hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Shea's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Lenexa, Kansas Police Department at 913-477-7301 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. That's interesting. Found in his car abandoned with the door open and the engine running. His wallet at the house.
Seems like he left in a hurry.
Yeah. Maybe being chased or something like that. But I don't know. He didn't say anything about any forced entry or anything to his home.
Well, I mean, if you leave he said, his wallet was at home?
Yeah, his wallet was at home. Cell phone, Shea's cell phone was left at home.
So it could sound like maybe he gets a phone call that says blah, 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 and it's alarming enough for him to drop what he's doing. Think about it. Like,
yeah.
More people are more likely to forget their kid in their car than their phone. I mean, we're attached to our phones, man. Like we are attached to our phones. Yeah, I mean, you don't leave your house without your phone, and if you do, you go back and get it. So this tweet needs me to leave that he left in a hurry. So I don't know. The whole thing's weird. Like finding the car, just running with the door open. People don't just vanish into thin air. I'm old enough to know that that's not the case. So. I don't know. I'm really worried about that. And hopefully we hear something soon. Hopefully it's, a big misunderstanding. He's somewhere safe. But, very fishy situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
She says Melissa Miranda is definitely not going to stop. Exactly. Sasha Brooks Kosminski missing since December 2020.
I'm jotting that name down right now.
Okay.
So if I sound distracted, that's what I'm doing is I'm jotting that name down.
God bless you for everything you do to help bring closure to the families. Thank you, Candace.
And if you have any pictures of Sasha or any more information, please.
We actually have a flyer for.
Oh, do we? We do.
Yeah. Okay. But we probably won't do any flyers on the fly tonight because we're down a crew member. But we will.
Yeah, we will feature Sasha next
tonight. Week. Yeah, we are going to cover Sasha next week. Right now, we're going to talk about Darien Hudson. She's missing from Stillwater, Oklahoma. Police are searching for Darien Hudson, who has been missing since October 22nd, 2017. Darien was suspected to be missing after not showing up for work. She was in the process of moving back to Wichita, Kansas when she went missing. Her family and friends said she does not have a vehicle and that she might be suffering from a mental health crisis. I hate that. At the time of her disappearance, Darien was 23 years old. She is now 27 years old, and she is about 5 foot 3 inches tall and weighs about 120 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. She has a tattoo of a feather and 5 birds that says "Birds of a Feather Flock Together" on her right shoulder. She was wearing a white T-shirt and blue jeans. If you have any information regarding Darien's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Stillwater, Oklahoma Police Department at 405-742-8357 or the police department's tip line at 405-742-8327 or dispatch at 405-372-4171. So if anybody in the Oklahoma area has seen anything, say something.
In the process of moving, it's a pretty vulnerable time. Doors usually open and stuff. People know you're in and out.
You're right. Well, the thing that really bums me out is that she was having some mental health issues.
Yeah, I mean, we both understand what that's like.
Yeah, for sure. We're both deal with that a little bit. And, it's anytime I hear somebody or anytime you I don't know, because I feel like everybody has issues. I mean, I really do. I don't think everybody needs to have medication. I don't think everybody needs therapy, but I think everybody has issues sometimes,
I think it'd be good for everybody to at least have somebody to talk to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. But I mean, I think that everybody on everybody has something, you know, quirky about their mentality that they deal with that is a struggle for them. And anytime you hear that, like, their friends were like, oh, like she was struggling mentally, like that's scary.
I mean,
because
when you break down the all the information we have, not showing up for work, she could have been missing before or after that. You know, I mean, going through mental breakdowns myself, I've not shown up for work. I've moved, you know, so
yeah,
I understand what it's like. I mean, so who
I
knows what her mental
understand.
state was like before, you know?
If she has mental illness, like if she, like, I'm bipolar, so you're, when you say you moved, I used to just, if things got hard, I would just load up my car and move away. Just bounced around the country in my 20s. But you know, I always called my parents or my friends, you know, I was like, hey, I'm
Somebody
here
always
now.
knew where I was for sure.
Yeah, even if it wasn't my
Especially
mom,
my
I
mom.
called a friend, you know, like I called somebody, like, hey, I'm here just in case anything goes south. The fact that nobody has heard from her since 2017, again, it just makes me feel like somebody who was vulnerable and not firing on all cylinders mentally could have been taken advantage by somebody who saw that as an opportunity to take advantage of her. And who knows what that consists of. I mean, just the fact that if it's just like, oh, she hasn't been seen since this day, I'd be like, okay, you know, this could be like just a straight up like abduction or something. I mean, the fact that you just say, before we say that she's missing, it's like, oh, she was having a stressful time, she was having a hard time. That's, you know, it's what it is. You know, it's like that's scary. That definitely
And
adds to the
it's
story.
something that's easy to write off too, you know. In the beginning, when somebody goes missing, if they have a mental health issue, like, oh, sometimes they go kind of incognito. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I've done that too. You know, I've gone where I don't call anybody, I don't tell anybody where I'm at or anything for, you know, like a day or two. But yeah, so it can definitely make it harder to catch.
Tiffany Martin says, oh, baby girl, we miss you so much. Kelly Laverty says, mental issues with a loved one are the worst. My husband, Marcus Bachman, suffers from mental health issues. Yep.
Yeah.
We covered his flyer last week. We're going to cover it again tonight. Yeah, this is, you know, that's unfortunately, that's a common theme on this show. A lot of times when we have somebody that's missing, you know, they're from another, they do have some mental health issues. A lot of times it says that. So did you just read or did I just read? So it's your turn to talk about Joel Love.
Take on Joel Love here. Joel Love is a missing endangered runaway who went missing from Guthrie, Oklahoma on October 6th of 2021. Joel is believed to be with a juvenile female known only as Emily, who is believed to be 16, and her sister, who is believed to be 20 years old. Their last known destination was Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Joel is 16 years old. He's about 6 foot tall, weighs around 170 pounds. He has blonde hair and green eyes. If you have any information regarding Joel's disappearance or know of his whereabouts, please call the Guthrie, Oklahoma Police Department at 405-282-3535. And you can reference the case number 2021-1094. So that's another one. 16. It's a tough age. I remember being 16.
Yeah.
Kind of.
This dude's got sweet hair though.
Yeah.
That's how my hair was when I was younger. That's when you got hair like that, women walk up to you and say, wow, and they put their hands in your hair and you're just like, this is weird, boundaries. But yeah, we see a lot of it's 16 is just young, you know.
Yeah, October 6th, so he's been missing for about 6 days now.
And most of the time, honestly, the majority of missing persons cases, you find them okay. You find them safe. So, you know, we feel like maybe Joel, it sounds like he's with some people, maybe out, you know, just kind of joyriding maybe, or whatever he's doing, finding himself. But I just hope that Joel, at the end of the day, I hope you're being safe. And I hope that your plan involves going home soon. Like, I get it. Sometimes you just want to get out of town, get away. But even adults that are allowed to do that tell people where they're going. You know, like you tell people, hey, I'm going to go here for a week, or I'm going to go do this. It's just not cool to just disappear and go and ghost everybody and have nobody know where you are. It just
And
creates a lot of
if you're
worry.
watching this, make sure you reach out. At least let somebody know that you're safe. Not saying you got to do anything more than that, but just at least let people know that you're okay.
If you have social media, make a post, say I'm fine. Just give
Yeah,
somebody some sign
something.
of life, because missing 16-year-old is scary.
Jacob Anderson says it's so sad when people go missing, and I'm honestly scared to go missing, and I'm 17. Yeah, I can imagine it. I've got 2 children myself, and it's just something you try and got to teach them about. Unfortunately, got to teach them. Not everybody's a safe person. Not everybody's out to have a good time. So,
In fact, the majority of people are bad. From what I don't know, it just seems like when as an adult, like the more as an adult, the more people are like interested in what I have to do or want to talk to me. They usually want something from me.
yeah,
I'm usually being sold something or
yeah.
something, but so I don't know. I just feel like you got to be leery. Like if it sounds like too good of a deal, it's too good of a deal. White City, Kansas, need more on Kenny, please. Kenny, Jacob, it is sad just to be always let someone know where you're. Yeah, just let somebody know where you're going for real.
Yeah. Always let somebody know where you're going to be, where your destination's going to be.
Right. We got missing and endangered here. We have not missing and endangered. We have a missing from Salina, Kansas, missing since July 7th, 2021. There's really no other details currently available in this case. Josiah is 27 years old. He's 5'11". He weighs 180 pounds. He has brown hair and hazel eyes. If you have any information regarding Josiah's disappearance, or if you know of his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the Kansas Bureau of Investigation at 785-296-4017. Missing adult.
Missing adult since July 7th. That's a long time.
If you know something, if you saw something, say something. We're all in this together. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kara
That's our motto.
Jenkins.
If you know something, say something.
Someone always knows something. If you think you want to get involved or you don't want anyone to know, please call Crime Stoppers. People need to be found. Families are suffering. Exactly.
Absolutely. There's multiple ways to stay anonymous with all of this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ricky's saying that Connie was referring to Kenny Wright check. Yeah, Ricky's saying still nothing new on Kenny Wright check, but we will cover Kenny next week. We cover Kenny quite a bit, but that's another one. He's been missing since I started working with Ricky about 1.5 years ago. So we're gonna cover Kenny next week. We will. Marcus's birthday is October 18th. I hope he is found safe before then. I love and miss him. We're trying our best. We're really trying our best to get the word out. Brandon, why don't you go ahead and cover Marcus?
All right, let me get to Marcus's flyer here. It's a little bit further down.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I kind of threw
a wrench in the system. All right. Marcus Ray Bachman went missing from Shawnee County, Kansas on September 23rd, 2021 at approximately 10 p.m. Marcus was last seen walking at that time. He's originally from Frankfort, Indiana, but has ties to Wabanusee and Dickinson counties in Kansas. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Marcus is 34 years old. He is 5'9" tall, weighs 200 pounds, and has brown hair and brown eyes. Marcus has a large tattoo on his right leg, as you can see in the picture, and a Superman emblem tattoo on his left leg. Also has a surgical scar on the front of his head from having a cyst removed. He has a history of huffing air dusters and alcohol abuse. Marcus was last wearing a baseball-style hat, orange t-shirt, blue jeans, and black shoes. If you have any information regarding Marcus's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Shawnee County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-251-2200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Yeah, I really need to try and get Marcus found. We got some more updated photos for you on this one this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm worried, man. Let's just, He just, I don't know, man. It's just sometimes people, and you don't know if he just got up and decided to take off for a while.
Yeah.
Or if you don't know if you need to go to foul play. Did somebody like abduct him?
Right.
You never know.
You don't. You never know.
And we got his birthday coming up in 6 days.
We do know is people care about him.
Yeah.
Want to know where he is.
Agreed, man. Kelly, I hope they find sending you my prayers. I couldn't imagine what you're going through. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Andreas says find him.
And we're going to keep covering this case too.
Yeah, he'll be in the frequent.
And we're going to start covering. We're putting together a new video series that we're going to do weekly, where we just cover, because we cover these cases, and then, the sad thing is, the week after, when it's time to do the next show, we have a whole list of new people we have to get the word out about. And we kind of have to move on, and we try to reshare flyers. Like, we'll share anybody's flyer that's still missing. So we're working on a segment where we can send out a video and just show you all the people who are missing still.
Yeah.
And just sort of keep everybody updated. And she says, "Thank you so much. I am praying he is found. I cried myself to sleep last night." Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear that, Kelly. We'll keep sharing this flyer and doing everything we can.
Someone knows or has seen something. That's usually what's going on.
I believe it. 100%. I believe it.
Well, I'm going to tell us about Cadence real quick. Cadence Dillon is missing, endangered runaway who went missing from Wichita, Kansas on October 10th, 2021. Cadence was last seen at her family home. Cadence is 12 years old. Jeez. She is 4 foot tall, 11 inches, and she weighs 120 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Cadence's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or the Kansas Bureau of Investigation at 785-296-4017. This is it's 12 years old. This is a 12-year-old kid, that's just out there unaccounted for. So this is, anytime we see somebody under the age of like 16, we get, a little extra worried,
Yeah. You do. You always do.
I mean, typically, like if somebody's over the age of 16, they probably have had a job already, so they might know some people that they could, but when you're 12, like how many people do you know outside of your world?
Yeah.
Unless you know them like on like some website or some application where you're just meeting somebody online, which is a breeding ground for horrible situations.
Yeah, I was about to say, we could take a second here and say, if you haven't, make sure you try and educate your kids or nieces and nephews about online safety as well. I mean, that's where,
oh my gosh,
a lot of these predators reside in those games and everything. And I'm not telling you that you got to stop them from playing. It's just education of the people, because you're never going to stop the other people from being on these platforms. Best thing you can do is just teach your kids. So we try and teach my oldest daughter right now. She's, of age to be on these things. So you just try and teach them that. Really hoping Cadence gets found, though. 2 days, I can only imagine, being 12.
Oh, her parents,
and alone.
Whoever's responsible for her has got to be losing it,
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't be sleeping. There's no way I couldn't be. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be myself.
And not that we don't take like missing 16-year-olds and above more serious. It's just like, I just don't see how a 12-year-old would have any kind of network to sustain themselves outside of their house or family. Anybody that would necessitate not making a flyer because somebody's like, oh, they're over here. Like the fact that she didn't go to anybody that she, on her family's radar. She didn't go to anybody that's on their family. So that's scary. It's like, who is she talking to? Who has told her to go somewhere, or did she go by herself? You never know. Cadence, if you're out there watching this, you're scaring some people to death. You need to call somebody.
Absolutely. You want to jump back to Catherine real quick?
Yeah, I went. Yeah, I skipped up to Cadence so we can get back into the rotation.
Oh, you're good. All right, we got Catherine ready here. So Catherine Cavazone went missing from Salina, Kansas on August 8th, 2021. She is 15 years old, 5 foot 4 inches tall, weighs 120 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Catherine's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Salina Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. It's another young one.
Yeah. That's
August 8th.
And the thing too, that you see her in this picture, man, and she's got her basketball uniform on. So this leads me to believe that Catherine participates in activities at school.
Yeah.
So Catherine, I understand, you might be upset, but think about your team. Your team needs you, your family needs you, your school appreciates you being there, your friends and family appreciate you being there. If you're not home because of your own volition, because you're choosing not to be there, I don't understand. I don't want to pretend to understand your circumstances or judge them. I'm just saying, as a 38-year-old man, I have a 14-year-old niece. If she was just unaccounted for, she's not even my response. She's not my responsibility. She's just my niece. I would freak out. Like Brandon said, I wouldn't sleep if she wasn't here. That would freak me out.
Absolutely.
And this has been since August, this is a long time. So if you're out there, please contact somebody. Contact your coach.
If you don't feel comfortable contacting somebody from your family, contact a police department near you. Find someone that you trust enough to let them know that you're safe and that they can get word back that you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. Let me see. God bless you. I got to try to sleep for work in the morning. Love you, Marcus. Hey, thanks for stopping by tonight, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly. Thanks for stopping by.
I wish someone in the Sedalia, Missouri would say something about Dana Jane Bruce's disappearance. I want to thank you for the times that you have shared her missing person. Anytime.
She's another one that we're going to get. She'll be a part of that video series, and we'll definitely end up covering hers again.
For sure.
As well as if you look down here, it says Susan Johnson. That's a Susan Johnson case from Elkhart, Kansas will ever be solved. We'll definitely get to her sharing hers again too.
That's actually, I've been investigating Suzanne Johnson's murder since 2016. I became friendly with her mother. We are not friendly anymore. I think her mother was just, we were talking about something that happened 49 years ago, and I think it just got to be too much for her. I still have the most respect for her in the world. But I've gotten really close to that case. I've gotten to know that case quite a bit. And all I'll say about that publicly right now, because Back Home Media does have some productions coming out in the future that will delve deeply into this case. I'll just say that I feel like Elkhart knows what happened to Suzanne Johnson, because everybody I've talked to says the same thing. So I feel like, kind of in a morbid way, what does it matter? Because everybody I've talked to in 6 years of investigating says the same story. So it's just what does it matter? That whoever did it, if this is true, if the story is true, they got away with it. So yeah, you'll see more about that in future. But yeah, definitely thanks for bringing that up. That's something that I'll be working on in the future. Ricky's letting us know, just to let you know, I'm at the hospital with one of my kids. Kelly says, Marcus, if you are somehow seeing this, I love and miss you. She says, hope nothing serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and cover Lachey real quick. Let me go ahead and get this flyer pulled.
She is missing out of Colorado, so just to let you guys know, we don't just cover Kansas; we do cover other states as well.
Yep, we kind of go everywhere where we get cases now. Lachey Stein went missing from Aurora, Colorado, on July 15th, 2016. Lachey was last seen on surveillance video near a bus stop in the 1600 block of North Peoria Street at 2:23 a.m. It is believed that she left her home at the time to meet someone, but never returned home. New information indicates that Lachey may have been recently seen in Kansas City, Missouri area. The photo on the far right is the last known photo taken of Lachey, and her hair may still be styled that way. She has a quarter-size scar on her chest. If you have information regarding Lachey's disappearance, or if you know of her whereabouts, please call the detective Chris Pope at the Aurora, Colorado Police Department at 303-739-6130.
There is a $15,000 reward on that one.
Oh wow, yeah, $15,000 reward, folks. I don't know if I don't know why people need a reward to tell the truth about something this serious,
right.
But it's out there. If that's what your motivation is, now's the time to talk. Let me see. So yeah. So that says, he said the flyer says the far right picture was the most recent picture.
Yeah, with her hair might still be styled that way there.
That's really cool hair.
It is.
I never did braids like that or anything, you know. I had done like a few things with rubber band when my friends did, and they experimented on me in high school, but I've just known some friends that have done their hairstyle like that, and I know that it's something you have to get used to, because like you'll get a headache. It's very tight. Those braids are very tight.
Yeah, I've had it done once to me, and yeah, it hurts. It's not
dude, it doesn't feel good.
It's
like,
not
especially when you're trying to
hairstyle.
sleep on it, and
yeah,
but it looks awesome. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a whole to do, man. Well, Lachey, if you're out there, yeah, come home. This one's a little scary. You know, she's been gone for quite a while.
Yeah.
You know, no sign of her, so that's always going to be concerning. So, tell us about Leah Don Webber.
Leah Don Webber is a missing, endangered runaway who went missing from Salina, Kansas on September 26, 2021. Leah's family indicates that she has made some contact since she was last seen. However, her whereabouts still remain unknown. Leah is 15 years old. She's 5'3" tall, weighs 120 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Leah has a piercing on her left eyebrow. If you have any information regarding Leah's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Salina Police Department at 785-296-4017 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
Too young.
Again, another young one.
Did you ever do the eyebrow?
The what?
In the eyebrow piercing when you were in your
Oh
years
no,
of trying to be cool?
I had one piercing trying to be cool, and that was the earlobe. I got my ear pierced,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think 2 weeks later I started football. So
yeah,
it came right out. Yeah, it came right out.
I let my cousin pierce my eyebrow with. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume it was a dirty needle because I didn't see her clean it. I was like 15, and it got really infected. But yeah, you were talking about she has an eyebrow pierce. That used to be very popular when I was a young one.
Yeah, it was. I think you see it right down there on the bottom right photo.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, I just, like I said, I mine got like infected. I remember all my friends had them, and so I don't see the eyebrow piercings that much these days. So it's like it's a throwback.
Yeah, they're not as popular.
Maybe they're coming back.
Maybe.
I'll see if my cousin still has that needle. I'll see what I can do. Okay, here we go. We got Nathaniel Solis Jr. Now, Nathaniel Solis Jr. is a missing, endangered runaway who went missing from Topeka, Kansas on September 28th, 2021. Nathaniel was last seen leaving the 21st and McCavier area on foot. Nathaniel is 17 years old. He is 5'6" to 5'9" tall, and he weighs between 142 and 180 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. Nathaniel was last known to be wearing a black hoodie, blue jeans, and a black and white Nike shoes. If you have information regarding Nathaniel's disappearance or if you know of his whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9551. Or you can call the Kansas Bureau of Investigation at 785-296-4017. Nathaniel, if you're missing on your okay, so let's say endangered runaway. Okay, so you're almost 18, and then you can kind of do whatever you want to do, but I still wouldn't recommend just like walking out your door on your 18th birthday and trying to like, make it. Go home, get your stuff, get yourself situated, get yourself some employment, and then do it yourself. Like, you can go out and do it, you can go out and be yourself, but at the end of the day, being out on your own is a very big responsibility, unless you want to hurt yourself and be like, where you're struggling and stuff. Like, being an adult and living on your own and being out in society is not easy. So do a little bit of planning before you just jump out into the world and start trying to be an adult. Like, just do a little bit of planning and get yourself lined up, and then once you're ready, go out and live your life, and please make good decisions. Because a lot of people, I'm 38 years old and I didn't make a lot of great decisions, and a lot of my friends didn't make a lot of great decisions, and we're all just pleading with you at 17, like, hey, just make good decisions. You'll thank yourself in 20 years, trust me.
Yeah, don't worry about me, thank yourself.
Yeah, you're gonna thank yourself in 20 years for using your head and really putting your best foot forward. They not long ago searched the home of a former boyfriend. I've not seen anything was found from it. It's believed she may have been trafficked. Oh, Lachey.
Oh, Lachey.
That's terrible. Tell us about Paul.
Paul Dunder. It doesn't look like we have a photo for Paul. He went missing from Salina, Kansas on August 1st, 2019. At the time of his disappearance, Paul was 70 years old. He would now be 72. He is 5 foot 8 inches tall, weighs 210 pounds, has brown hair and hazel eyes. If you have any information regarding Paul's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Salina Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the Kansas Bureau of Investigation at 785-296-4017. 70. That's another one, older one that you just got to wonder.
Yeah.
Doesn't say, we don't have a whole lot of information on him.
Sad that they don't have a photo of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 2019, 70 years old. You think they have at least one photo?
2 years. Well, he's also 70, man. Not everybody has a family.
That's true. Yeah, so that's true.
Potentially the youngest of his clan, and who knows if there's any of them left,
Just says he went missing. No information on how or. That's another tough one.
It's sad. Well, we got about, we got a few more. And then let me go ahead and I'll tell you all about Tyler Gregg. Tyler Gregg is an endangered runaway who went missing from Topeka, Kansas on October 6, 2021. It is believed that Tyler may be in the Kansas City, Missouri area. At the time of his disappearance, Tyler was 17 years old. He is now 18. He is 6 foot to 6 foot 2 inches tall and weighs between 160 and 165 pounds. He has blonde hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Tyler's disappearance, or if you know of his whereabouts, please call Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247. or the Kansas Bureau of Investigation at 785-296-4017.
This is another one of those, if you walked out and you're 18, you're an adult now, that's, you're allowed to do your own thing. Maybe your home situation is not great. Maybe you don't care about those people, but at least let somebody know you're safe, and that you're okay, that you're trying to either make it on your own or, reach out to somebody if you need help, man. Please, we're trying to help you get back to your family. I'm sure there's people out there that care about you. Doesn't look like, especially from the photo. I mean, it looks like a graduation photo, So
surely you have friends that care about. I mean, somebody that cares about you, somebody that's worried about you. So just let somebody know you're okay.
And if anything else, we care.
Yeah.
We care. So, all right.
Charles McHenry was 27 years old. And we will cover Charles next week for sure. Did anyone see the video of the homeless guy stealing a 3-year-old in broad daylight that happened in New York City? No.
No,
Oh my
I haven't
gosh.
seen that. Jesus. Not seen that.
Scary world, man.
That is very scary.
Is that my house? Tell
It's
us
gotta
about
be.
Vinci. You're like, I don't have any dogs in my house right near my house.
It's not right near me. Vinci, I'm going to mess up the last name. And I apologize. I'm going to say Cow.
That's what I think.
Vinci is a missing endangered runaway who went missing from Salina, Kansas on October 1st, 2021. Vinci is 17 years old. She is 5 foot tall, weighs 100 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding her disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Seems like we have quite a few of the 17, 18-year-olds going right now.
Yeah.
A lot right around the end of September, too. I mean, I don't know if that's just because, we're fresh into this month or about almost halfway through it, but it seems like right there on the end of September, beginning October.
Yeah. I mean, school's well on its, halfway, school's going.
Yeah.
So there's that stress of, having to be,
A teenager
Monday
in
through
school.
Friday. Yeah. And then who knows if Vinci's working or not, Being 17, probably working too.
Probably.
So, stressful. He took the kid while the kid was with mom crossing the street.
In New York?
Man.
Good Lord.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know how I would take another step.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know which direction to head in.
Well, I want to talk about Victor Cabrera. This one hits close to home. This is in Garden City, Kansas, my old stomping grounds. Now, on Sunday, March 7th, 2021 at 7 p.m., officers of the Garden City, Kansas Police Department were dispatched to the 1400 block of East Fulton in reference to a man shot in the head. Officers arrived on the scene and located Victor Cabrera, 32, with a gunshot wound to the head. Victor was transported by Finney County EMS to St. Catherine's Hospital and later flown to Via Christi Hospital in Wichita, Kansas, where he died. The investigation into Victor's death is ongoing. The Garden City Police Department is requesting assistance from the community. If you witnessed this incident or have information related to this incident, you should call the Garden City Police Department at 620-276-1300. If you wish to remain anonymous, you can call Crime Stoppers at 620-275-7807 or your tips to Garden City or text your tips to Garden City Police Department with text GC tip to your tip to tip 411. Sorry, that's going to be 847-411. I am horrible at reading right there. But
it says
basically,
text GCTIP and your tip to tip 411.
There we go. Thank you for reading it like a normal person. But this is messed up. I know some people that when this happened, I shared this flyer in the Garden City's community page, and a lot of people were like, hey, I worked with Victor 10 years ago. I worked with Victor 2 years ago. I worked with him here. Like, a lot of people knew this dude in the area. And just to know that, somebody shot this dude in the head, and they still have somebody just shot this dude in the head, and they're out amongst us living around. Somebody who thought it was a good idea to shoot Victor in the head is still out there just going to work every day, going to the restaurant, going to the bar. I mean, that's not okay. I am not okay with that. Somebody needs to justice needs to be served. I don't want the person who is capable of shooting Victor in the head and then just leaving him for dead. I don't want that person out around the Garden City area if he's there. I love a lot of people I care about in Garden City. Who's to say this person's not going to flip out and shoot somebody else in the head? If you know who did this, if you have any inkling of who shot Victor, it's at this point, I almost don't even care if you're scared for your safety. It's your duty. It's your duty to say something. You have a dangerous person roaming around the streets where there's women and children and vulnerable people that made a decision to shoot Victor in the head, and you're letting them walk around because of fear. This has to be, I'm more scared that this person's walking amongst us. I just do not understand how day in and day out, every week we do this show, we see these unsolved homicides where people know what happened and they just
Somebody
choose
has to
not
know
to say
something.
something. I mean, you just have
Somebody's
to.
got to know.
I just don't get how you sleep at night knowing what happened in a murder and you don't say anything about it. And then you obviously, I don't know, you obviously don't care about your community because somebody's out there
I would
committing
fear
murders.
more, not paying attention to where I'm going and bumping into this guy.
Yes.
He didn't, and I don't want to try and get into it too much, but he didn't shoot him and make sure he was dead. He shoot him and let him die. He probably thought he was dead because he shot him in the head because it said that he died at the hospital. And you got to think about his last moments too. There might only be two people that know, and only one of them can talk, and they're probably not.
Yeah, I just find it hard to believe that you go off and shoot somebody and take it to the grave without telling a single person.
I almost find it hard to believe that it's not premeditated in some sense. I don't think it's one of those ones where you break into somebody's house. Oh crap, they're there. Let me shoot them in the face, kind of deal.
Nah, it seems like he was sought. I don't know. Again, I just feel like a lot of times passed, and there is just. I just want to say this: if you're out there and you're in that area and you know what happened and you haven't called the police, thanks for making that community a little less safe. Like seriously, like it's just like enough's enough. And I talk to people a lot of times that say they know stuff and they're afraid to talk. And I get it. I get you're afraid to talk, but they have anonymous tip lines.
It's so easy to be anonymous.
Nobody's saying take a front page ad out in the newspaper and say, hey, you know what I know about this?
Nobody's saying you got to go knock on this person's door and say, hey, I'm going to tell everything I know about you. You don't have to do any of that. I don't
care if you find like an operating phone booth, if you can find one in 2021, and use like a voice changer and be like, hello, I have some information. If you have to do that, I mean, it's still the information is what needs to get out. However you need to do it where you're not involved with it. But I mean, just letting these people live, letting these people who are willing to take somebody's life or hurt somebody, letting these people just live in our communities forever without doing anything, and just because we're kind of scared a little bit, I'm not scared of these people. I mean, they can't kill all of us. I just feel like if you know something about this, say something. It's just enough. You see so many unsolved homicides, and I just fail to believe that people don't know stuff.
Andrew says, if you know something, say something. Even if you're scared, there's ways that no one will know who you are. Absolutely.
Exactly. And I think honestly, if you do know something about that, you should give your information anonymously. Don't involve yourself if you don't need to, but the information is the important part of the story. If you know information about these crimes, you need to say something. It's your duty. It is your duty as a citizen to protect the people around you. I'm on one. I better get off of here. My niece Go ahead.
I'll say, read this one. My niece is in college and lives in an apartment with friends, and she has a stalker. He will go up to her and he tells her how pretty she is, and then she says he cries at night because he thinks of her and she's not with her, and he's not with her. The police said he has not threatened her and won't do anything. Her friends do walk her to her car and back in. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of those things where it's just it's like the story leading up to the story, right? It's the story leading up to us being here. Those types of things don't need to happen. And obviously, I hate to, just point the fingers all at this guy. Maybe he has some mental issues, some stuff going on. Maybe he needs help. Maybe he needs to try and find somebody. It works both ways there, but you can't just be going up and doing that, man.
We can't. I mean, we live in a society where we just have way too many warning signs, We have way too many warning signs of bad things happening, but I don't know. My message tonight is if you know something, say something. You could really help solve a case. You could really bring a family some closure.
Absolutely. Diana Hayden says it's creepy as hell. It is. It is creepy. I wouldn't feel comfortable if that was happening to my daughter or niece or cousin or friend. I'm not comfortable with it happening to Roxanne's niece.
Shout out to Audra Harris. She says, good evening. Thank you both for filling in for Ricky in his absence tonight. Anytime. Well, Brandon's filling in. Well, I had to do a lot more talking tonight. So
You did do a lot more talking tonight.
I'm going to say you're welcome too. I feel like
Yeah. You should. You should.
Ricky's got a tough job reading these flyers, man.
I mean, he makes them too.
Yeah. I don't read them though. Usually Ricky just reads everything. I'm just here for the ride, man. So this has been a new one. But Audra, we appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully everything's working out for the best. And yeah, we will be talking to Ricky soon, I think. Yeah, creepy as hell for sure. And that's the truth. I mean, this is the thing. We live in a society where you always hear, like, whenever something terrible happens, you always hear, like, well, we all saw it coming. It's like, why do we live in this society? Why aren't these problems solvable? Like, why isn't there a phone number you can call that says, hey, this guy keeps coming up to me? First of all, it's 2021. Walking up to a stranger is not okay. No. I don't even care what you say. It's like, well, what did you say to him? No, you walked up to you. If a stranger approaches me in public, doesn't say anything, I'm gonna be alerted. I'm like, can I help you? Like,
even before COVID, I was just checking people out, like making eye contact, like, no, turn around.
I mean, I don't have money to give people, but I don't need to, I'm in my bubble, and somebody coming into my bubble, again, typically it would be fine if they were just authentically interested in, like, having a question or something, but it's that they want something. And in this case, this guy wants a date. And so he feels like he gets to walk up and make this woman go through this experience day in, day out, because he's like, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not touching her. I'm not saying anything suggestive. Right. I'm just walking up to her and saying, hey, I think about you, and cry. I mean, there's got to be a phone number you can call for that. Like, yeah, I got this guy that says he cries when he thinks about me, and he comes to my door every day. Constantly okay, we'll send over somebody to have give him a pep talk to tell him not to do that anymore.
Something. Put him on some kind of something. Like I said, he could just need help. Man. He could need help, right? He could need the help too.
But I mean, part of that help is
leaving other people alone.
Yeah, letting knowing your boundaries, somebody stepping in, letting that person know, like, hey, guess what? I don't know if you have a boundaries problem, if you have, like, but this is the thing. What you're doing is not okay, and you need to stop, or you're gonna have to, like, go to jail or something. Like, we can't have you just walking up to whatever girl you want and say, hi, I cry when I think about it. It's not okay. This was a year ago. And now he is
this one first. Oh, this one here. Yeah, this one's was referencing that.
That happened to my dad when she was working.
Looks like daughter.
My daughter. He wrote letters to her and how much he loved her and wanted to run away with him. She came home crying. We called the cops. We all went to court and had protection order on him. And then she says that was years ago. He is now he is mentally sick. Still to this day, she gets freaked out about it. He used to be our neighbor. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying.
I mean, this is that's the other thing. It's not what's happening to these people right now. It's not just what her niece or Roxanne's niece is going through right now. It's the mental trauma that's going to cause for her later. When this guy's not around anymore, and now she's going to be thinking about it pretty much every single time. This is going to be something. It's going to be a story she's going to tell her kids when she has them, if she has them. So it's definitely not. You got to think about the consequences of those actions too.
Yeah. It's not a good thing. I feel like we should have a number you can call that just puts an end to foolishness. It says it's very traumatic to the people that happens to. It makes them feel like they got to constantly go. Yeah. And that's what I was telling Brandon too earlier. I was like, I kind of tell my kids that 9 times out of 10, if somebody approaches you and they're nice to you, they probably want something from you.
Yep.
Like, and that's sad. That's sad.
And I mean, this is almost in that reference. We had some a letter come from the HOA talking about how our yard looked bad, right? I told you about the grass and everything, how hard it is to grow grass. Well, we started growing grass, and this car randomly stops by the other day and stops my wife, and she goes, I just want to let you know this house the yards look the best it's ever looked since I've lived here. I'm like, okay, well, you just kind of gave yourself away. You're the one that complained in the first place, right? So obviously people don't just stop and say stuff and be nice to you for no reason. Like, these people are stopping for a reason. Like, I'm not that crazy. So
and this guy wants a date, and he needs a pep talk. Whether it be from a couple of Hell's Angels, who knows? I mean, we'll see what we can do.
See what we can.
Text me an address. We'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can get a pep talk. No, that's it. We're just
don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. But
don't text
for real, boundaries, folks. You have to have boundaries. But I think this has been an interesting show without our ringleader, Ricky. I got to tell you what, Brandon telling him I was nervous.
He was nervous before the show. I was like, really? I was like, you've been doing this for 10 years now, going live on Facebook, doing podcasts, and you're nervous about this? I
never said I was good at reading, though.
Hey, we pulled it off.
I did all right. Pulled it off. I was like, I did all right, but you did fine. I mean, you did great. It's just there's a reason Ricky reads the flyers. He's better.
Well, I've got not to toot my own horn, but I do have a history of radio and reading live things on the air. So it's all about enunciating your mouth.
I have a history of watching Ricky do it. I just sit backstage in awe of Ricky. But thank you, Diana. We don't have located safe tonight, do we?
No located. Well, there's only a couple located safes. I believe they found the Imon and Imon Hayes.
Yeah.
Boys, the little boys. I remember that was the one that stuck with me when I saw that they were located safe. So glad to know they are, but we'll have one next week. The next show will be Thursday, the 21st. The 21st, we'll be back, going live, and Ricky will be back with us then.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you,
Trisha. Well, everybody, it's about that time. Check out the next show. This podcast will be on Facebook Podcasts in the morning. So if you're just tuning in and you missed the whole show, you can just listen to the podcast tomorrow when it comes out. So thank you to all 900 of you that listened to last week's episode. We really appreciate it. And
it means a lot.
We're going to get out of here. We're going to mosey on out.
Call it.
All right. We'll see y'all later. What does Ricky always say? Take care and God bless. Y'all have a good one.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.